Every harvest season, the drums of Umuoka did not beat for celebration.
This is not a curse from the
They
gods.
bet
The land
for
drinks
burial.
innocent blood.
Gods of
When
our
the moon
land,
turned
where
red
have we wronged
and the
you? Please
barns
have
filled with
mercy.
yam, one family would begin to wail. The elders called it a curse, but it was not the gods who were angry. It was the ground beneath their feet. And only one woman knew why. For 23 seasons, the tragedy never failed. Just when the village prepared to give thanks for abundance, just when palm wine flowed and dancers painted their faces, a sudden death would strike. Sometimes a child would fall into the river. Sometimes a strong young man would collapse without illness. Sometimes fire would swallow a hut in the middle of the night. The Dibias blamed angry ancestors. The chiefs demanded sacrifices. Goats were slaughtered, fowls were offered, prayers were shouted into the wind. But the following year, it would happen again. Fear became tradition, and tradition became accepted pain. Among the villagers lived an old woman named Neka. Her back was bent like dry bamboo, her wrapper always plain, her eyes always heavy. Whenever the burial drums began, she locked herself inside her mud house. She never attended the shrine gathering. She never joined the morning crowds. Some called her strange. Others said she was afraid of spirits. But it was not spirits she feared. It was memory. Because long ago, before her hair turned gray, before her hands began to shake, she saw what truly stained the land of Umuoka. It happened in a season of greed. There was once a young man named Obina, strong, fearless, respected. Obina discovered that some elders had secretly sold a portion of sacred farmland to strangers, land that was dedicated to ancestral rites, land that was never to be touched. When he confronted them, he
What
said,
you people did is an
"The
abomination.
land is not yours
The land
to
is not
trade.
yours to trade.
It belongs to the
It
unborn."
belongs to the unborn.
But power does not like exposure. That night, the elders called a private meeting. Obina was accused falsely of dishonoring the shrine. Before sunrise, he was executed in secret. No proper rites, no final prayers, and his body was buried at the edge of the harvest field. Silence was forced. Fear sealed every mouth. Young Neka saw it all, but she was only a girl, and girls did not challenge elders, so she kept quiet, and the land swallowed innocent blood. The next harvest season, tragedy struck. A healthy child drowned in shallow water. The elders blamed the gods. They performed rituals, but the soil had already taken its price. Year after year, it demanded payment. Because when justice is buried, it does not die, it waits. In the 23rd year, when another young boy suddenly collapsed during harvest dance, something inside Neka broke. She walked slowly to the village square, leaning on her wooden staff. Her voice trembled, but it did not stop.
It is not a curse.
she
It is
said.
blood we buried
The crowd
without
fell
truth.
silent. It is blood we buried without truth. Murmurs spread like dry season fire. With tears streaming down her face, she spoke of that night, of Obina, of greed, of fear, of silence. Some elders tried
Woman,
to interrupt
stop.
her, but
Don't
the
say
people
what you
were
don't know,
already listening.
unless you will put
The
yourself in
secret
trouble.
was no longer safe. When Neka finished speaking, the village fell into chaos. Some elders shouted, some women wept, young men demanded answers, but confusion does not bring clarity. So the next morning, the entire village journeyed to the shrine of Ezemu, the most feared native doctor beyond the hills. The path was silent. Even the birds seemed to watch. Ezemu was old, but his presence filled the air like thunder before rain. After hearing Neka's confession, he cast his cowries upon the earth. He closed his eyes.
This is
When
not
he
a curse
spoke,
from the gods.
his
The land
voice
drinks
was
innocent
steady.
blood.
This is not a curse from the gods. The
This is not
land
a curse from the
drinks
gods.
innocent
The land
blood.
drinks innocent blood.
A murmur ran through the crowd. Ezemu continued, No sacrifice of goats can wash hidden murder.
No sacrifice of
No
goats
prayer
can wash
can
hidden murder.
silence a
The
buried
crime
truth.
must be confessed before the entire
Guilty
village.
elders began to tremble. Then he gave the verdict. To cleanse
No
Umuoka,
sacrifice of goats
the
can wash
crime
hidden
must be
murder. To
confessed
cleanse
before the
Umuoka,
entire
the
village.
crime must be confessed
bones
before
of
the
the
entire
innocent
village.
must be
The bones
honored
of the
properly.
innocent must be honored properly.
titles of
And
the
their
guilty
families
must
must
be
return
stripped.
every gift and gain
their
that came from
families
the
must
stolen
return
land.
every
The
gift
titles
and
of the
gain
guilty must be
from
stripped.
the stolen land.
And their families must return every
Gasps
gift and gain
rose.
that came from
Some
the stolen
family
land.
members cried in shame. But Ezemu was not finished. For 23 seasons, the innocent paid for your silence. Now those who benefited will fast and serve the community until the next harvest. This is the only path to peace. There was no argument, because even power bends when truth stands tall. That evening, the gravesite was opened. Obina's remains were lifted with tears. Proper rites were performed. Public apologies were made. The corrupt elders lost their red caps. Their households returned wealth earned from the illegal land sale. For the first time in decades, the village did not hide. They faced themselves. And when the next harvest came, the drums beat loud and long. No funeral followed. No cry pierced the air. Only laughter. The soil had received justice. And when justice walks in daylight, tragedy no longer needs to. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share for more interesting stories like this. Bye.